Welcome back to the Roadshow this morning. The Buzz, a proposed new policy at the University of Rhode Island has some students pretty mad. There's been a long-standing policy at the school that prohibits underage students from being in the presence of alcohol. But the proposed new policy now says that you must report anyone who's going against school policy, even if you're following the rules. University officials say policy is about student safety, but the students think it's about snitching. Take a look.
You shouldn't be forced to rat out your own roommate. That's something that violates the idea of a community.
Even if I'm not drinking or anything like that, I'd still get in trouble. And how fair would that be to me?
We're here to help students maximize their time here and graduate. And that includes making sure we create the safest environment we can.
All right, so here's the question now. Do you guys think that students should be in charge of policing students?
I think I can kind of maybe speak for Vince when I say if these guys start, maybe. Well, you got the old school mentality. So if these kids start ratting each other out, it's going to lead to even more problems because some kid's going to rat out a bunch of his buddies, or maybe not buddies, just other students, and they're going to see this kid by himself one day, and there's going to be fights. This has bad news written all over
this is a double-edged sword, and I can see both sides. We've all reported on students who have drank too much and have died of alcohol poisoning,
too many.
Who have been drunk and fallen off of porches and have died. I get what the school's trying to do. But on the other side, how are you going to be able to function? And everybody knows you're the rat fink.
Yeah. But I'm also curious, are they actually going to police this policy, or is it going to simply be, if they find out that some kid got beer and had it in his dorm room and all the other kids who were present didn't mention something to, an RA, a resident advisor, or whatever they're called at the different schools, right. Is that how it's going to be? I don't think...
What's the penalty?
Yeah.
What's the penalty if they know that you knew and you did nothing and this policy is in, do they then kick you out?
It's almost like what planet do these people live on that came up with this rule? Do you really think a bunch of kids are going to be sitting around at a party and one kid's going to run to somebody to tell on everybody?
Well, and if these are your friends who you're hanging out with who are drinking anyway, it's not like you're going to...
What you would hope that would happen is that you can start some sort of educational program, in my opinion, where you can get the kids who may not be drinking and see somebody who is, pardon the French, blotto, and try to get a hold of them and say, listen, you've had enough. You're coming with me. I'm going to get you home safely.
And I think what they're trying to do, I didn't drink until I was 21, and I did see that there was a real culture of, because I didn't drink, I was a target. And so I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to foster an environment where there's a reverse peer pressure. The problem is alcohol in our society, in our colleges and high schools, is so pervasive that this kind of policy isn't going to shift and make it a reverse, peer pressure situation. It really is going to take parents not buying their kids alcohol, saying, listen, the drinking age is 21. I don't want you to be hurt. And quite frankly, for me, the whole big deal was, I don't want you to think that my personality of being outgoing and everything like that is because I have a beer bottle in my hand.
My problem is I think, in a way, the university is trying to shrug the responsibility onto another student to police drinking on campus. Well,
I'll tell you what, I'm curious as to what our viewers are saying this morning, and so I want to throw it over to Courtney, who is in the Cox Communications Tech Center talking to people on our live blog and Facebook page.
Yes, they're on both sides, which is good, so we can hear from people who support it and those who don't on both the blog and on Facebook. We'll head to foxprovidence.com first, and this one is from Smokey Wolves. She doesn't agree. She says the kids will lose trust in one another if that happens, and how will it help the campus? And this is from Joe A., and he says, yes, students should have to. They need to show compliance. They enrolled in the college of their choice and need to follow those rules. Here's our poll on foxprovidence.com. Some of our live bloggers are already voting in this, and so we're asking, should students have to enforce campus policy? A, yes, it'll make for a safer environment, or B, no, snitching isn't their responsibility. And we also have posted the full story there if you want to catch up about today's buzz. We've got about 6 comments so far on Facebook, and Christine Mary says, as a student at the University of Rhode Island, I can honestly say that no one reads and memorizes the entire handbook, so sometimes we may be witness to a violation and have no clue that it's breaking the rules. Alex Cruz says, I think if it's something life-threatening, of course someone should be notified, but also it depends. Some schools have ridiculous rules, and it's really hard to follow the manuals. And Cindy Zanofsky says absolutely not. We have free will, and it is not a student's job to police his peers. So whichever side you're on, we'd love to hear from you. You can vote in our poll or hop on the live blog. We're still talking about it, but I'll be back in about a half hour with those poll results. So for now,